Okay, so today I'm working on a Partscaster and getting it all wired up. And what I came across was a body that I put some stain on, and then I cleared it and wet sanded it. It's nice and smooth. And the neck that I came up with on this one is a Frankenstrat. I think from a vintage vibe. Right, so kind of a cool neck that I came up with for this one. Used parts come around, and I throw them on guitars, and I build Partscasters from time to time. So that's what I'm working on here. Now I did have a Seymour Duncan pickup that I went ahead and threw in this thing, and just to try to help the value of this guitar. It's one of those things that I'm going to put out here in my guitar shop and price it at I don't know, I might be dreaming at $200. I might go like around $150 for it or something like that. But sometimes I end up with a lot of, you know, different pickups and Seymour Duncans and stuff. And so if you get a little name recognition in there, sometimes that helps to put a Partscaster together by using good parts. So that's what I got going on here. And so hopefully you know, it'll play good once it's all done. But it does have, again, a nice made in Indonesia 2018 neck on it. So the neck is in really nice condition. But it does take a certain type of customer to want to buy a Partscaster that somebody else put together. Because the fun of Partscasters is putting them together yourself, right? So there's that. I gotta test these electronics one more time, because sometimes they work, you'll put all the screws down and it'll stop working because something's hitting somewhere. Oh, good. So we're still good on this one. I do need to find some strap buttons and put in it, and then put strings on it, and so this should be quick. Today's string choice. Okay, today's string choice, SIT strings, power wound nickel 9 through 42. Stay in tune strings, nickel plated, cover wrapped over hard tempered hex core. Huh. Made in the good old USA, Akron, Ohio. Okay. I can dig Akron, Ohio. I think that's where, Akron, Ohio, didn't they make tires, right? So back in the old Detroit auto days, Akron was where they made a lot of tires, I'm pretty sure. So let's go ahead and throw some strings on this thing. I was able to go ahead, and I had some strap locks laying around that I was able to get on there. So, you know, a little tiny upgrade to a Partscaster. Whatever you can do, if you've got random parts laying around, go ahead and use them. That's the whole thing when it comes to a Partscaster, is using the best parts you got that are just kind of laying around parts, right? Okay, this first string is going to tell us a lot. Well, that looks pretty good. String action's kind of low, but these saddles are down really far, so I think I can get this to work. Okay, here's our third string, our G string. Yeah, so on Monday nights, once in a while, I've been going on Dave's guitar channel and talking with Dave Levine on his channel, and Crowbar is on there, and a couple of guys, and so look for me on Monday nights on Dave's guitar channel. I've done 2 or 3 episodes with him now, and it's a good bunch of guys, and we sit around and we talk about music mostly, and then guitars, a lot of guitars, and things like that. So it's kind of a fun little hangout Monday nights on Dave's guitar channel. Okay, here's my A string. Yeah, but this is one of those, just a weird body that came in here. And I probably gave somebody 20 bucks for it as part of a trade for something, or something like that. And he already had it stained this brown color that you see around the edge here. And I took some sandpaper to it, and then I added some of this reddish color. It's just stain. I just used a little bit of this stain right here to give it some of this color. And then I put clear over it, just in a can. And this is just things I do in my spare time. And then I wet sanded it. And so it's pretty smooth. So I am one of those guys that I get a lot of parts down here. And I enjoy putting stuff together, building guitars. And then these SIT strings, they give you an extra B string and an extra high E string. And so once in a while, I will break a high E string, or I have about 300 guitars in here, and every once in a while, you'll even just hear a string just break without anybody touching it. But then, this gives me a couple of extra strings laying around if I need to replace something. So that is much appreciated, getting extra strings. Okay, so I'm just going to adjust these saddles a little bit. The condition of these saddles seems like they're really nice. As far as there's no rust on here, it seems like they're adjusting nice and easy. The Allen wrench is staying in here, or the hex wrench. Allen wrench is a brand. Allen is a brand of wrenches. Okay, let's just tune this baby up. Come on, you. There we go. I've got a snark that's slightly not working correctly. Stretch these strings out a little bit. Take a look at our neck and see if she's straight. If we have any relief or back bow. That looks like just a little tiny bit of relief. I can probably snug that down just a tad. Oh, there we go. One more time, let's take a look. Oh, that's better. Nice and straight. There's no back bow to it. So, I think at this point, we got a player. Alright, so it's a little Partscaster. It's not too bad. I still need to find a tip for my 5-way switch, and I have some of those around. And now on the back of the guitar, it's never had a back plate. I'm just going to leave it like that. Why drill holes, put a back plate. People can see what they got going on under there. I'm just going to leave it like that. Partscaster. Cool neck. On to the next guitar. Alright guys, so this is my Frankenstrat that I built. It's a Squire body. It has a maple neck. And a friend of mine was importing guitars. SoCal Guitar Works neck. I love how the neck feels on it. An old friend of mine that was in a band with me, he painted it. It has the Seymour Duncan Invader made in China rip-off, you know, pickup in it. And then it's got the quarter. And so the quarter on this, it says 1995. So for whatever reason, I just grabbed a random quarter and I threw it on there. The quarter that was on the original Frankenstrat, what year was that, Neil?
71.
1971, okay. So, Neil, what'd you bring in?
1971.
Ooh. All right, okay, so we're going to drill a hole in this thing. We're going to mount it on my little Frankie. Here we go. Yeah, there it is. Alright guys, so we've got a guitar that needs a little bit of setup work. It's an Epiphone SG. And there's a couple of things that's going on with this one. The string height is really, really high. And the pickups are really, really high too. I think the strings are touching the pickups. So I'm going to make a couple adjustments to this thing and see if we can't get it going nicely. Here we go. Okay, so right off the bat, let's lower this pickup. And I keep my fingers on the pickups while I turn, because then I can kind of feel it going down. And I can make sure that I'm turning it the right direction. And then we just kind of eyeball it. And okay, already that looks way better. So that's not an issue any longer. Okay, so let's look and see if our neck has some relief in it, or maybe if it's nice and flat. It does have some relief in it. It's kind of all over the place. So let's take this truss rod cover off and let's try to flatten this neck out a little bit. Let's test this now. Okay, good. The wrench went right inside there, real nice and easy. Oh, and that little bit of turn made a big difference. I like how that looks. So I think our next step is we're going to go ahead and pull these strings off of here. And then I think I'm going to take the neck off and we're going to put a little shim in the neck to try to get this string height down. I'm just going to cut these babies right off. Alright, I'm just going to pull the neck off of here real quick. I'm thinking a shim in this thing will help us a lot. So this is the Epiphone SG with the bolt-on neck. So it gives you that opportunity that you can put a shim in there, whereas set neck, yeah, it's pretty much set, right? Okay, let's see if I can pull this thing out of here real quick. Nice and easy like. It's looking good. That part of it's looking good. Okay, a little shim cut off of a business card. This is actually my business card. So let's see, I'm going to cut it right around there. Okay. We're just going to lay that in there, and it actually is the perfect size. Real quick like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and hold it together like this. Try to raise the camera so you can all see me put a big scratch in this thing. No. So you guys can see me put this back together. There we go. And notice that all four of these screws are the same size. And then the one with the strap button. Let's see here. The strap button would go right here. That's a weird button. And then this fourth one right there. See if I can grab this drill and don't scratch the guitar. There we go. Nice. Now I'm just going to lay it back down on its face, and I will take my Phillips screwdriver and snug these down. There we go. There we go. Alright, I think now I'm just going to clean the fretboard a little bit. Let me show you what's going on here. So yeah, we just got a little bit of this kind of stuff going on. I might be able to clean that off of there. So yeah, let's clean this board up, and then I'll clean the guitar and throw some strings on it. So I've got my fret guard out, and I'm just taking a little 1000 grit sandpaper that I've folded over a couple of times. And I'm just using this to hit these frets. And the idea is just to try to take the top layer of dirt off of them and not take any of the actual fret itself. I'm not trying to sand the frets down. Just trying to get some stuff off of them. Dirt, rust, corrosion. Okay, this is the one that was really bad right there. Yeah, so it turned out really good. So here we go. Let me zoom in a little bit on this next fret. You guys can see it right here. Again, a little 1000 grit sandpaper. Right? Nice. Not sure what that was on there, if it was starting to rust or corrosion or what. A little bit, a lot of lemon oil on here. Just a little bit. Try to get some dirt off of this fretboard. Try to rejuvenate the wood that's here. Try to make this thing as pretty as possible. and to try to get the guitar to play as good as possible. The fret ends on this guitar feel really good. Some of these Epiphones are, you know, they're quality guitars on the cheap. Some guys love Epiphones. I would never buy another Gibson as long as I live because my Epiphones are just as good. I see that in the comments. So, let's get some strings and put on this thing.
Today's string choice.
Okay guys, today's strings for this beautiful Epiphone, it's going to be a pack of SIT 10 through 46 power wound nickel. SIT stay in tune strings. Easy opening package. Yeah. I have my scissors, so we're okay. We're going to be okay. There we go. So this first pack contains the low E string and it contains the G string. So let's see, we'll leave the G string set here. And we're going to take the low E string, put it through the stop bar, and we're going to go ahead and that stop bar snaps into place, which is a nice feature. Oh, our string height is super low now. And I'm going to raise the bridge a little because I have this bridge all the way down right now. So we'll raise the bridge a little tiny bit. Oh yeah. I might have to loosen that truss rod a bit. Let's get our G string in here. I don't think we're going to have a problem with our action being too high on this guitar. This action is going to be with it, how they say slammed. We slam the action on this one. Okay, so this pack has our 5th string, our A string, and it's got our B string. 2 of them. They give you extra strings. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's get our B string. Okay, so they give us an extra B string. So I'm going to kind of wind this thing up a little bit. Put it back in here and save it for later. They come in handy having extra strings laying around. Okay, so here's our B string and 2 high E strings. Okay guys, so here it is. All strung up and it's got new life in it. I went ahead and lowered the pickups a little bit. The string height is nice and low right now. You know, putting the shim in the neck was maybe overkill. It might not have needed that, but it's in there, and that just helps these strings to be nice and low. And everything is playing great on this guitar right now. So this little SG is back to life and ready for a new home. It is all strung up, and everybody have a great day, and thank you guys for watching very much. I really appreciate all the views lately. Thanks again, guys. Have a great day. Go buy a guitar.